Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Geek 360. We're going to get things started here because I have to get another thing off my chest. I know, I understand that can be frustrating, but I went to go see The Seventh Son this week in theaters. I paid money to see The Seventh Son. And let me tell you, The Seventh Son should have just been The Sixth Son and The Eighth Son high-fiving for 90 minutes because The Seventh Son got boned and that movie blew. But that's not what I'm mad about. What I'm mad about is before that, there was a trailer for a remake of Poltergeist. First of all, I had no clue that Poltergeist was being remade. But my problem with the trailer was it literally showed every bit and sequence from the movie Poltergeist from the original that made it so terrifying. So it essentially spoils the whole movie, including a man saying the line, "This home was built on an ancient Indian burial ground." Why? Why would you put that in the trailer? That's the point of the movie where it all starts to make sense. Also, there's no little Zelda Rubinstein because she's dead. Now it's Jared Harris from Mad Men. If anything, we needed Zelda Rubinstein from Teen Witch. They should remake Teen Witch. That's what they should do. Stick around for Geek 360. It's coming up next. Welcome to Geek 360, everybody. Again, you know, I get a little heated at the top of the show, but then I come here to my little geek desk, I take a little geek breath, and I calm down, and I get excited again because we have a great show. First, to my left is my geek guest host with the most, like a ghost. That's from Beetlejuice, right? Give it up for Stephanie Pressman. She's here. We're going to clap for her.
I know her.
You know her. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me back.
I'm very excited to have you back. And holy cow, do we have quite an extravagant guest in here. The only man for the job. Please, you know him from King of the Nerds, Season 2 and 3. He's also in a wonderful parody band called the Library Bards. Give it up for Xander Jeanneret.
Hey!
Oh. Yes.
Aha!
Hello, Xander.
Hello.
Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. You're part of something special now.
I am.
You're part of a league of extraordinary people.
I feel it. I feel it on the inside.
And thank you all of you who are tuning in and watching live. And thank you for those of you who are going to click on the theStream.tv link later and watch. It'll be like it's live.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you're almost watching live. So, I'm guest hosting, so I guess I get the first topic.
Yay!
Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
Okay, so I'm sure you know already that Spider-Man is back in the Marvel Universe.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
That was beautiful.
So, we're going on tour. Very soon.
Yeah.
Great.
So, is the Marvel Universe a little too overcrowded right now with all of the movies that they already have planned? Are they going to be able to pull off throwing Spider-Man back in the mix?
I love this news because I think that Sony messed up Spider-Man, and I'll go on record saying that. But I really hope that they don't go with Peter Parker for this one. I hope it's Miles Morales.
Yeah.
I really think that's the reboot that Spider-Man needs and the one that we deserve.
Sure.
And that needs to happen.
I agree. I think that would be good. And also, I mean, it's a joint production, Sony and Marvel Studios. So Sony basically was like, we'll rent you Spider-Man for your movies, and then you will make a good Spider-Man movie with us. And I find it funny that the Sony executive on this film is Amy Pascal, who recently stepped down as the head of Sony Studios.
And her first emails.
Because of the leaks.
I think you're off. I think if I heard correctly, it's because Spider-Man's private emails to the Green Goblin got leaked, and there was a little love thing going on there. And I think that's why they're finally going, you can have him back, Marvel. We're done.
Sure.
Too much drama.
But I'm with you. Miles Morales should be the new Spider-Man. I mean, it's pretty much a whitewash right now. Like, there's not a lot of diversity going on. It's like the 1980s Boston Celtics in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Sports ball.
Right now. There's a lot of, I mean, some of that, you know, there's Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, very talented, but you need a Robert Parrish, you know? You need a Dennis Johnson, you know? You need some players. This is not a show about 80s basketball, but it could be. It could be. So yeah, I say Miles Morales, but if they do go Peter Parker, it looks like Andrew Garfield is out.
Yeah, completely.
There's going to be a new
Darn.
Peter Parker. And I also heard that this, whatever iteration they go with, he will be in high school.
Yeah.
And they'll go back, once again, for a third time in under 15 years, we will see a Peter Parker movie, a Spider-Man movie, where Spider-Man is in high school.
Yeah.
So they should do Miles. They should do Ultimate Spider-Man.
They should.
Just because we don't need to see him go through high school again.
Yep, and that origin story.
I know.
Done and done and done.
You know, I saw Spider-Man turn off in the dark on Broadway a few years ago in the Julie Taymor days.
Did someone die?
So
I saw that, and the entire first act was origin story, and I was like, enough with the origin story. I don't need any more.
He's got a great one. You know, he got bit by a bug. I got bit by a bug once, and I fell asleep for 3 weeks. But, you know, to each their own. That's not a true story.
Thank you, LA.
Yeah, so look, we're excited about Spider-Man. The energy's up. I love that. But unfortunately, we got to take the energy down for a second because we got to take the energy outside to the streets, which is where I went to talk social media handles with some of the crazy and wonderful people on Hollywood Boulevard. Let's hear what they had to say. I'm standing here with
Guillermo?
Guillermo. Hello, Guillermo. Quick question. Are you on Twitter?
No, not currently.
Are you on Instagram?
Yes, sir.
What's your Instagram handle?
At LGeniusZ.
At LGeniusZ. Now, are you a genius?
I'd say so.
I would agree. I mean, I think it would take a genius to identify themselves that on Instagram. So are you on Instagram or Twitter?
I'm on Instagram and Twitter, yes.
On both. And what is your handle name?
Rapmeister.
Rapmeister. Do you have Twitter or Instagram?
I do.
You have both?
Yes.
And what is your handle?
I love ink.
I love ink. Now, you have some ink.
I do.
It's on your back.
It is.
Would you mind doing a little twirl for us? A slow twirl. Isn't he lovely? Isn't he wonderful? Who's the craziest handle you follow?
Probably Mickey Crazy Cat Lady.
Mickey Crazy Cat Lady. I would have to say, I would have to agree with you. Now, why did you choose Rapmeister?
That's my last name, it's Rap. Yeah.
This is perfect.
There you go.
I cornered the market on Tommy Bechtold when Twitter first came out. I registered that shit. So I've been at Tommy Bechtold. Now you're at Xanderific.
Yes, with 2 R's, 1 F.
I like that. 2 R's, 1 F, and you're at Steph Pressman.
Yeah, my whole name wouldn't fit, and I actually hate being called Steph. So call me by my full name, please.
Talk about a difficult choice. Having to choose a name you hate because your name is just too long. You know, we got to talk a little TV now. And it almost pains me to talk about this because I also host another show on this fine network, the Gotham After Show, a show that I love, with people that I love. But something happened this week that just plain seemed insane. And it happened at the end of the episode when they did it coming next week. You've met the Riddler. You've met Catwoman. You've met Penguin. You've met Fish Mooney, who everyone met because she's a fictional thing they just made up for this show. Like, I heard, like, that wasn't that exciting. And they're like, and this week's villain is no joke. And then they flash to a picture of Cameron Monaghan, this crazy Jack Nicholson looking MFer, and they're like, no joke. What?
Yeah.
What?
And it sounded like Mark Hamilton's laugh over the top. It might have been his, but it sounded like.
Yeah, I mean, like, what? No. The Joker on a show with no Batman, like, I can handle the Riddler. He loves word puzzles. Who doesn't? My uncle loves word puzzles. He's just as likely to be the Riddler as Corey Michael Smith. I can handle the Penguin. You know, he's a weird guy. You know, I prefer him a little shorter and fatter, but the guy they got does a great job. Fish Mooney, who cares? Jada Pinkett's on TV. What a win. What a win for the network. We don't need the Joker. We don't need the Joker. Is anyone else as upset? Is my volume so blistering through the internet right now?
Well, I'm not a huge fan of Gotham, but you know, Gotham's the story of Commissioner Gordon, right?
Sure.
And it's Commissioner Gordon and the origin story of all of the Batman villains.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Joker has to come at some point. But my real thing, Xander really wants to say something. He raised his hand. But for me, like, I'm still waiting for them to show, like, the real famous villains, like King Tut and Bookworm. I mean, who doesn't love Bookworm?
Right.
When are they going to bring Bookworm to Gotham?
Shondell.
Xander, you had something to say.
Because it's exactly what you were saying, is this is showing the origin story of villains, and that's what makes the Joker the Joker. It's like, he's got a bit of an origin story, but it's clouded and full of mystery, and if they're showing it step by step, this is him as a kid and how it happens, he changes it every time when he tells the story as an adult. So this kind of like spoils that part of his character that makes him so intriguing.
And there is, to be fair, as is often the case on television, this could just be a misdirection, and they could just have this guy doing an like a Jack Nicholson facial impersonation. That could be the case, and he could just be some other. I think like on IMDb it says his character's name is Jerome. I mean,
I'm calling it right now. It's a gender bent poison ivy.
That would be great. That
They
would
already have a poison ivy,
No, but
don't
this
they?
one's the boy version.
This is the boy version, and that's great, and that would be wonderful. I mean, for me, we're on episode 15 of this show. That hypothetically should go 8 years if it's or 6 years in a movie. Like that's like the mantra. We're so jammed with bad guys. Let's throw a new good guy in there. Let Aquaman swim up in the sewers.
Oh gosh, Aquaman's my favorite superhero.
Okay, see? And that's the hint water explosion of the day. Guys, hint water.
I'll take it.
Aquaman needs it to live. All right. So we're feeling a little lukewarm on the Joker, or we don't care at all. I don't know. Some people here don't care. I care very much. Shout out to Gotham AS. Hashtag Gotham AS. Devon, Vi, David. I love you. I love you all. I almost said I love you both. One of you I don't love.
You must fight to the death.
Indeed. All right. Well, that seems accurately covered. We're going to take another quick break with a message from theStream.tv.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
So this is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy, it was hot, it was heated, I was into it. You are gonna be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama, tell them go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on the stream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
Woo! We're back. That was exciting. We love theStream.tv. Check out all of those shows. Make sure you subscribe to theStream.tv. It's a real revolution. It's a great experience. After shows for all of your favorite shows. And now we're going to talk about non-shows. We're going to talk about games. We're going to talk about video games. And as I've gone on the record, as before, God didn't make these hands for video games. All right? It's very difficult to hit buttons for me. I've been humbled by many PlayStations and Xboxes. The old Nintendo was okay. But I want to talk about first-person shooters because these things are phenomenons. Talking Halo, Call of Duty. On the internet, we got, what's it called, Team Fortress 2. I'm a classic Duck Hunt man myself. I think that was the original first-person shooter. You're just whaling ducks out of the sky. Why are these games so popular? Is it, the dog, you tried to shoot the dog and he would just laugh at you. Why are these games so popular? I mean, do you think it's a cathartic release? Like, what do you think makes these games such a hit?
People are violent. And they like to take, their true natures, they're very violent, and they like to take it out.
Yeah.
Like Werner Herzog. Opinion.
And there are only a few genres that have really taken off that include your friends. Like you have fighting games, you have first-person shooters, and then like any kind of like thing that you do online, like MMOs or something like that. So you either fit into one of those categories or all of them. Yeah. And so.
I mean, I understand the coming together with your friends. I mean, I know like my little brother, a huge gamer. I remember when he was in high school, like that was a huge. They would have LAN parties. Get in and like hook it all up. They'd all play. I mean, maybe maybe I'm outing myself as a little too old. I don't know. But I feel like there's people older than me that are like, they like wait in line to get Call of Duty. I don't. It just blows my mind. Like, I guess like you could talk on a headset. I say, why not throw a Frisbee around a park? You know? I don't know. The kids need to get exercise.
Yeah. Well, for me, the appeal for first-person shooters, like, I'm not a big first-person shooter type of person, but I'm like the opposite. I don't like going online and going up against people. I get too stressed out, and it's too much for me to handle. But I do like games like BioShock or Borderlands, because I play the sniper, so I can sit there, find a spot, like point out an enemy, and like get a headshot, and that's how I play those games, and it totally works. If I play online or co-op or something like that, I get found out right away, and then I just start blindly firing, and it never works out.
Well, I guess I understand it's like a whole new whole new category of anxiety.
Yeah.
It's like you're an insular gamer. Like I can only play against a computer.
Yeah.
And then when Skynet takes over, we're all screwed. It's going to be real life first person shooter.
Yeah.
What do you think? You a gamer? What do you do?
I am an NES gamer, so I was gonna say my favorite first-person shooter is also Duck Hunt, and also I'm a fan of its TV spinoff, Duck Dynasty. I mean, I like to shoot all of them.
That answer got a audible groan from our producer, Brian Conwall, to the right. I don't. It might be too faint for the mics to pick up, but I want to make a note. And when you said the spinoff was Duck Dynasty, I just heard, oh. But you can't match that professionalism. I love it. Speaking of love.
Oh,
smooth segue. Speaking of love, we asked some of the hilarious hosts on the Stream.tv after shows, the Fan Show Network, who their ideal Valentine would be to spend Valentine's Day with from the comic book universe. And the answers, I think, may surprise you. Let's take a look.
If I could have any comic book character as my Valentine, I would have Wolverine, because I like my men rugged and misunderstood.
It would be Robin, because I want to borrow his tights.
It would be Incredible Hulk, because I'm sure when he's mad, he's big in all the right places.
It would obviously be The Flash. I'm not saying we're gonna wrestle any hot, sweaty nights, but...
If I could have any comic book character for my Valentine, it would have to be Spider-Man. One, because I love Andrew Garfield, and two, in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Emma Stone died, so it gives me a chance to swoop in there and get my Andrew Garfield on.
It would be the lovely Lady Sif, because she is a gorgeous Asgardian warrior. Thor, you better watch out.
It would be the Arrow. I love the Arrow on the CW, but it would have to be Stephen Amell, because, whew.
It would be Mystique, because she could be any woman or any man in the world all at the same time.
If I could have any fictional comic book character as my Valentine, it would probably be Big B Wolf from Fables, because I love him. He's hot and furry sometimes.
Oh, boy. And my geek heart just grew 3 sizes.
Who would yours be, Tommy?
Well, I was going to save that for the end of the show, but I'll reveal it now. Mine would be Aunt May from Spider-Man. Let me tell you why.
I think you're going to say Ant-Man.
Mine would be Ant-Man, yeah. Because I want someone that could just disappear for a while. But still is around and can listen to me.
Sure.
No, I want it to be Aunt May. Let me tell you why. I like it. I like an older woman, and she also seems like she'd be very easy to keep secrets from. So if I had to be Aunt May, we'll get both Xander and Stephanie's answer to who their Valentine would be after our next break, but we got to move on to the next topic because it is something so morbid.
So weird.
Okay, so there is this new online service called Evertomb where you can maintain a digital presence for all of eternity.
Yes.
What would you Evertomb? What would it entail for you, Xander?
First off, this sounds like an MMO. It sounds like EverQuest that's gone wrong.
Right.
But there was this old, and I think it's still around, but this old site called YTMND, like You're the Man Now, Dude.
Oh, yeah.
And they would just loop things. So I'd have Nyan Cat on loop constantly in my tomb, I think, with just a gif of Power Rangers.
That's how he'll be remembered for all future generations.
Yep. And that's the best thing about this. I mean, this is so... Evertomb, if you subscribe, it's like $1 a month. They'll delete all of your other social media, so you're only at Evertomb. It's so that way you don't have 17 digital graves. Like they can't go, no one can pay respects to your Twitter. It's gone. You go to Evertomb. You can embed video. You can embed audio if you want to sing a song. Mine would just be, I'm with you. It'd be like a lot of cat videos.
Yeah.
Mine would be maybe pictures of me photoshopped in with very famous, attractive women. And then I'd be like, my first wife, Morgan Fairchild. My second wife, me and Morgan Fairchild patched things up and got married again. My third wife, surprise, Aunt May. I manifested her. I don't know. What would your epitaph be?
Oh, well, I thought I'd already done this. I thought that we had all done this with MySpace. I thought we were going to live forever in MySpace. But I'm hoping it's something like my Twitter. A lot of talking about piglets and woolly mammoths.
Mammoths and piglets.
Quick side note, too. Did you see that Facebook released Facebook Legacy Contact? You name someone as your legacy contact, and then when you die, like they get your information or whatever. It's real weird.
Morbid.
Brian,
but
you
I guess
listening?
that happens.
You're going to be my legacy contact.
Right?
I guess that happens. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's sad, but people do pass away, and
And,
they want to be able to contact people about, like, their funeral arrangements and
Yes.
stuff.
But to make it such a priority of like, gotta make funeral arrangements and name my legacy contact.
Right. And there's no, like, the protocol for death on Facebook is such a strange thing already.
Yeah.
I think I say let the good people at Evertomb
Yeah.
sort it out for you. Some sick upstart in the Silicon Valley
Yeah.
was like, you know what, guys, let's stop trying to compress audio files and let's stop creating social media. And let's instead create an online graveyard called Evertomb.
Right.
I think that would be wonderful. I mean, I don't know. It's very bizarre.
I feel like, that Facebook with the legacy thing, at least it's free.
Exactly.
You're not paying $1 for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because
Yeah.
I assume you're paying Evertomb until the day you die. What if you lapse on payments?
They take it away.
Then they dig your Evergrave
They're
up.
like,
They throw your little thumb drive out the window of Evertomb
Nope.
headquarters in Palo Alto. I don't know. I guess. I don't know. They're grave robbers. Maybe they can steal your content. You know what?
You heard it here first.
I endorse Evertomb, okay? I don't know why we're getting so negative on it. We need to surround ourselves with a little more love. So we went out to some more hosts on the Stream.tv fan show network, and we got some more answers to the classic question, who would you spend Valentine's Day with? Let's check it out again.
If I could have any comic book character for my Valentine, it would have to be Groot, because honestly, he can grow whenever he wants.
It would be Spider-Man, because I want to get kissed upside down.
Aquaman, because I would be able to swim underwater with him.
If I could have any comic book character as my Valentine, it would have to be the Hulk, because I love me some muscles.
It would be Superman because he could find me anywhere and we wouldn't have to be in LA traffic.
It would be Batman, because not only is he tough on the outside and soft inside, but I feel like he'd probably do some big extravaganza on Valentine's Day for me.
I would go with Storm because she's sexy as hell.
If I could have any comic book character as my Valentine's, it would be Wonder Woman. Yes, LGBT, it would be Wonder Woman because she's hot, we could share lipstick, and we could just fight crime together.
If I could have any fictional comic book character as my Valentine, it would be John Constantine. Why? Because he's magically delicious.
That was beautiful. These are bringing tears to my eyes. I want to say sincerely thank you very much to all of my stream mates on the Stream.tv for making those videos. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. But now we got to get to some answers. Xander.
Yes.
Who would your ideal Valentine be?
There is a
and why?
right answer to this.
Okay.
And it is Steve Rogers, Captain America, because he would treat me like the prince that I am.
Yes.
We would go out to a nice dinner, and he would be a true gentleman.
Yes. And then he'd fall deep into the ocean and be lost for 50 years.
Just, wait, what? He already did that.
Oh, okay. All right. No, I don't know. I wasn't sure which Steve Rogers. Yeah, okay, I like that. I agree. Correct answer. Stephanie, now that we have the correct answer, what's the wrong answer?
Right.
Well, the correct answer for me has always got to be Thor. And why? Because I want him to take me to Asgard and show me all his lands.
Ooh.
And also maybe his hammer.
All right.
Mjolnir.
I don't think she meant hammer.
The hammer is his penis.
I think she meant something else. Now I'm uncomfortable. It's time for a Hint Water, take a sip of water to break the tension moment. Brought to you by Hint Water. Sometimes your parents share stories that are a little too much.
Whoa!
Sip of Hint Water and walk it off. All right. Finally, our final little bit of discussion. Kind of a downer week for comedy, the comedy world. And it's okay to be a geek about comedy, guys. Geeks can be, about anything. Jon Stewart is stepping down as host of The Daily Show at the end of the year. Whoa!
Oh, yeah.
It's Comedy Central. Colbert, gone. Stewart, soon to be gone. What kind of impact did Jon Stewart have on your guys' life and, and shape you as comedians or as performers? I mean, for me, this is a big departure. I'm not necessarily shocked by it, but it's kind of like, I feel like it's a younger generation's Letterman stepping down, like kind of like their voice of like, everything's going to be okay. I don't know, yeah.
Well, I mean, and he's been the host since like 1999, so it's reasonable that he's stepping down.
Sure.
But The Daily Show was the first exposure to politics for me. Like, I feel like we all grew up in that era where politics was just a not cool thing. It wasn't funny. And all of a sudden, The Daily Show came along, and like you were expected to keep up with politics so you could get the jokes on The Daily Show. So it was kind of this like door opening, and I think it created a genre all on its own. So, and he did that. He was the face of The Daily Show, and he was the person that brought that.
Yeah, absolutely. And he did it right because he never claimed to be a real news show.
Right.
Although we did get our information from it. And a lot of times the news when we were a little younger and when he was first starting out, the news was very scary. And
it was like a sacred thing.
Yeah.
You didn't make fun of the news.
And then here's this guy, and he's not only skewering the stories, but he's also skewering the pundits and the anchors. He's not letting them get away with their kind of like smug delivery of things, and also on both sides of the political spectrum, stating things that are as facts that were just merely opinions.
Yeah,
he was almost like the voice of the people for a while. I don't know.
Well, for me, he was the first short Jewish guy that made it okay to be sarcastic, and people believed him.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I love The Daily Show, and he left because he's gonna run for president, right?
Yeah, here's hoping.
I mean, that's the thing is like he directed Rosewater this year. It seems like he's 52 years old.
Right.
He's not an old man. He's got a lot of years left in this industry if he wants them. He's probably got enough money to do nothing ever again, but. He may have enjoyed directing so much that that's something he wants to do. He may want to
direct the country.
Right. He could. He could run. He could run for president. I don't know that Hillary or Joe Biden would like that very much. But you never know.
And now there's a slot open on The Daily Show. So
true.
and 30 Rock is over. Parks and Rec is almost over.
That's right.
So Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, let's get a lady in there.
Oh, that would be good. I do think that I do think the next host should be a woman. There's just there's so many funny, smart female comedians. It doesn't have to be, and it's not. It shouldn't be just because there's not enough there. But it's just someone else's turn. All the late night shows are going to men still.
Right.
So it does seem like with with 30 Rock and Parks and Rec, like their chemistry is so good they can handle that. They've done the Weekend Update, which is a kind of a skewed version of the Daily Show. Or Stephanie and I could take over the show.
That too.
I mean, till then, John Oliver last week tonight, best show I think on TV.
We'll still get
right
our
now.
fix.
So.
Well, we'll miss Jon Stewart on The Daily Show, and we're going to miss you, Xander, as a guest. We'll have you back, but you were so great. Is there anything you'd like to plug before we say say goodbye?
Absolutely. Follow me on Twitter, @Xanderific, 2 R's, 1 F. And then the Library Bards, we're doing a lot of stuff with conventions this year.
Great.
Performing, it's with Bonnie Gordon from ABC's The Quest. And we'll be doing parodies of popular songs with a nerdy twist.
I like that.
Yeah.
Pop songs with a nerdy twist. Stephanie, anything you'd like to plug before we say goodbye?
I still want to plug Xander, King of the Nerds, Friday nights.
Oh, duh! Yeah, watch season 3 of King of the Nerds on TBS Friday nights, 9/8 Central. You can see me upcoming this episode. I make an appearance, and I do behind the scenes of every challenge. You can find that on TBS.com.
Well, that's wonderful. And I'll plug myself. You can see. Oh, that didn't sound good. You can see me at. I'll be at Strategicon in Los Angeles performing with Comic Book Live. They'll be there too. Sunday night, 8 p.m. So if you're in the LA area, come to Strategicon, play a few board games, and watch a little comedy. And until then, that's going to do it for Geek 360. We will see you next week. Goodbye. For more Geek 360, click subscribe on theStream.tv.